Hey, what's up? And welcome in to another Friday Live, Creating Wealth with Dr. Karwana D. What's up, everybody? Hello. Drop your name, drop your business, where you're from. Let me know in the chat where you're coming in from. Welcome in. So you guys want to know exactly how you can actually get um $500,000 back in tax dollars so that you can actually add that back to your household income, right? So welcome in. Of course, we're going to be talking about different ways that can happen for you. Y'all already know I'm the strategist. I show you how to strategize, think strategically, create those action steps, and crush your goals. So I'm excited. What's up? Hey, Tiffany. Hello. Hey, welcome in. Good to see you guys. All right. So all over the US. Of course, we're serving entrepreneurs all over the US, showing you exactly how to create wealth with your business. And for those of you who are new to my channel, of course, I'm Dr. Kawana D. I'm a wealth creator. I help entrepreneurs, high level entrepreneurs just like yourself, learn how to actually create millions of dollars, basically create generational wealth with your business strategically by landing the government as your particular client. Now, many of you know, of course, upwards of over the past few years, I've helped upwards of 300 plus small business entrepreneurs just like you add an additional 4 million and counting back to their business revenues and their bottom line. So I'm excited about sharing the wealth strategies. I'm excited about teaching and impacting the business communities abroad. But most of all, I'm excited for those of you who are taking action to actually create wealth for yourselves, right? Because it all comes back down to taking action. All right. So trying to bring up my notes, but today I'm actually going to be talking about how you can add an additional well, not additional, or maybe it is an additional, right? How you can add an additional 500,000. That's a half a million, y'all. How to get a $500,000 of tax money back into your pocket, right? And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a few things today. And it's going to be very straight to the point, right? So make sure you get out your notes, take some notes. What's up, y'all? So if you're on Facebook, make sure that you actually click on the StreamYard link so I can see your name, because right now it says Facebook user, but I want to say what's up to the Facebook user that just posted. Hey, so all right, so what type of business services are you guys providing? I see real estate, I see trucking, I see janitorial, I see all different types of services, tax accounting. Oh, this is so cool, right? So the one thing that I want you to know is the government has your money, and I'm going to show you how to get it. All right, y'all ready for it? Okay, so today I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually get at least, at minimum, a $500,000 of tax dollars back from the government. So there's 4 things that I'm going to review today that you have to do, right? 4 things. Number 1 is, in order for this to happen for you, and I'll go into the details, is number 1, just you have to optimize your business for government contracts. Why? This is the first step, right? So y'all hear me talk about creating wealth, landing millions of dollars, crushing $250,000 contracts, 6-figure contracts, multiple $1 million contracts. Like, this is not something that I'm just saying like as a trigger word. This is something that's really happening for clients that are just like you. And all you have to do is align yourself to take action. Of course, there are some step-by-step things. And of course, you have to become the person who does those step-by-step things. And also there's a lot of development, right? This is not for anyone. This is not for everybody, right? This is for those who are willing to do the work and understand that it is not a get rich quick scheme. However, you can become really wealthy in a shorter amount of time if you do these things, right? Versus creating wealth over decades and generations beyond, right? Because a lot of, because anybody can create wealth. Anyone can create, have $1 million days, $1 million years, $1 million month, all of those different things. And it just all takes strategy. And of course, if you watch one of my previous YouTube channels, I talk about doing the $1 million math. You take the action steps to get there. There's no way that you cannot crush that. So we're going to get that out of the way. So who are you? Of course, you're a future wealth creator yourself, that I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to actually create generational wealth for yourself and how to position your business to make this stuff a reality for you, right? So the first thing is to optimize your business for government contracts. And as I said, I'm going to break all of this down. So don't worry. Just make sure that you're taking notes, but most of all, that you're going to take action at the end. And so when you're optimizing your business for government contracts, that is the groundwork, right? This is the stuff that most people are not willing to do, which is the reason why most people are not millionaires, multimillionaires, highly successful in business, right? So this is the stuff that requires you to step outside of the norm, right? I always tell me and my husband, we have this thing, we talk about how irregular we are. Like we step outside of the norm. We're always willing to do what others won't do because we know we'll end up having what others won't have, right? And so it all comes down to being willing to do the work, right? And not everybody is willing. Everybody's able, like the scripture that talks about many are called, but only few are chosen. And I wonder why, right? Maybe because only the few that are chosen are the only ones that are willing to do the work, that are willing to get out of their own way, that are willing to be coachable, right? Not everyone is coachable, no matter how how no matter how they may believe they are. Not everyone is coachable. So anyways, optimizing your business for government contracts. So what is a government contract? Like where does these dollars come from? You guys always talk about the trillions of dollars that are sitting out there, pools of money that is out there, opportunities for you to just plug into a system, a proven system that automatically works, right? When you do the work. Keyword is work. So it's not free money, so it's not a grant, right? It's not easy money, so you do have to do some work, but it's realistic. It's an opportunity for you who want it to happen for you. So if you want to position yourself to make this work for you, all you have to do is just take action. So taxpayers' money. So we're all taxpayers. All of us in the U.S. pay taxes. We pay taxes. We pay sales tax. We pay real estate tax. We pay taxes on everything. There's a soda tax in California, sugar tax. There's all these different types of taxes that we pay, and there's state taxes, there's federal taxes, there's all these taxes, right? And we're talking about to the tunes of multiple trillions of dollars. That is where the government gets their money. They get it from you. Well, how do you get some of those tax dollars back? Because an accumulation of you paying taxes over all the years that you've been in business or all the years that you've been employed, there's employment tax, there's all of these different things, social security tax, all this stuff, right? So as these things accumulate, and we're talking about multiple billions of human beings, that reside in the United States. And so this is why there's trillions of dollars that are available, because you are the taxpayer and you've made that happen, right? No, you didn't contribute $1 trillion individually, but you can participate in that $1 trillion spend. Absolutely. Yes, you can. So because of these things, right? So watch me. Optimizing your business for government contracts is going to be one of the most significant things, listen to me when I say this, that you can do as an entrepreneur. What does it mean to optimize? That means to actually become a credible business who is a premium, not only a premium buyer, because of course you have to become the person that you want to attract, but also becoming a premium value service provider or product provider to the government, right? Because the government is a premium client. Everything has to match premium, right? Everything has to come up to that premium level. And so with that said, of course, a lot of my clients talk about this all the time. So much paperwork. It's a lot. It's a lot. And it is. It's a lot of paperwork. This is the reason why few are chosen. Many are called, but only few are chosen. This is the reason why, right? It's not for those who are looking to turn a quick dollar, but for those who are looking to create long-term sustainable wealth that you're able to pass down from generation and generation to generation. So anyway, getting your tax dollars back. So optimizing your business for government contracts is the first line of defense that allows you to be able to get some of those tax dollars back, right? Why? Because now you're able to provide a service, provide a solution, provide products to the government and get some of those contracting dollars back. So I'm actually going to share my screen. To kind of illustrate, right? So I want to illustrate to you what this could look like. Let me see. Where is this? Is the one that I want to get. I think I'm on the right page. All right, cool. I think, yeah. All right. So ideally, let's just say, for instance, right? Optimizing your business for government contract. What does that mean? That means qualify. So I have a 3-step or 3-phase methodology that I teach during my 5-day challenge, where I'm helping people become pre-qualified to land contracts or to do business with the government, right? So the first phase is qualifications. And then after that, there's activation. And then from there, there's the celebration. Okay. So if you are familiar with the be, do, have success formula, this simply falls in line with that similar formula, right? In order to have things, you have to have done the thing to have that thing. And in order for you to have done the thing, you have to have become the person who's willing to do the thing. So be, do, have, right? So it's the same process when it comes to um qualifications, activation, and celebration, right? It's the 3 phases. First, you have to qualify to get government contracts, and then you have to activate, take action upon your qualifications. Well, what does that mean? Qualifications means you have to have all your ducks in order. You have to have all the quality documentation. You have to have a legally formed business. All of your I's have to be dotted. Your T's have to be crossed, right? Certifications, that's a part of the process, but it's not necessarily required, but it actually will give you more leverage to make you even more qualified, right? So there's all these things. And of course, I have other trainings. Check out my YouTube channel on what do you need to have, documents that you need to have in order to qualify for government contracts. You can also join our 5-day challenge at govconchallenge.com. We walk you through the exact steps that you need to documents, the exact steps that you need to have or take to become pre-qualified, right? So qualifications is the first phase, right? Activation is acting upon that qualification, right? What are you now qualified to do once you get qualified? Well, first, let me say 80% of the work happens at the qualifications phase. That this is the reason why many are called, few are chosen. Well, many people get burnt out before they can even activate. Many people give up before they can even activate. Many people don't want to get qualified because of all the documentation. So this is the reason. This is what separates the wealthy from those who dream of becoming wealthy, right? There are dreamers and there's doers. Those who do don't have to dream because they'll be the ones that actually can celebrate. So activating upon the qualifications, what does that mean? Then now you're actually taking your qualifications and you're looking for the opportunities and responding to those opportunities, because now you are a qualified service provider or a qualified vendor with government agencies. Now you're qualified to be able to land those lucrative contracts. And then, of course, at the end, we celebrate, right? The having, there's the have and the have nights. There's those who celebrate and those who don't celebrate, right? But the having is the easy part. That's going to automatically come when you do the work. Celebration, that's going to automatically come when you do the work, when you take action, right? So it must happen in this particular phase, like in these steps and in this particular order, right? Qualifications, activation, celebration. Okay. So now that we're activating, well, what does the activation allow you to be able to do and accomplish when it comes to government contracting, when it comes to being able to add $500,000 in contracts back into your pocket, into your life, into your bank account, right? So let's just say at minimum, right? You understand the process of getting qualified. You understand the action steps because maybe you've been following me. Maybe you've worked with me. Maybe you're going to join my GovCon challenge and you're going to come up with a game plan, right? We're going to show you how to do that. And then you execute. You begin to activate upon that. So what could that look like for you? Well, it could look like landing one contract that's valued at $250,000. That's $250,000. Well, in order for you to actually take $500,000 back from tax dollars back into your pocket, of course, all you need is 2 of those, right? 2 versus 20,000 individual customers, that's paying you like $250 or whatever the math is that, whatever the math on that is, right? So all you need is 2. Well, let's do some additional math. Well, let's just say maybe at minimum, you landed a contract that was $100,000. Well, in order for you to hit a million, first of all, you need 10 of those, right? But for a half a million, all you need is 5. That's it, right? So it's like, why stop here when you can go all the way there? But at minimum, for this particular sake, we're talking about do this 5 times. That's it, right? 100,000 times 5 is 500,000. That's a half a million. Now you've gotten back tax dollars back into your pocket. Now I'm gonna just trust me. I'm gonna go a little deeper, of course, but I just want to kind of illustrate, right, for you. So if you landed a contract that were $50,000, well, to many of you, that's a game changer client, right? Because what client do you have right now? And because many people want to just look at the big numbers. Oh, I want to do a half a million, or I want to do a $250,000 contract, or I want to do $1 million contract. But what about the $50,000 contract, right? Those particular contracts could be for like a day or 2 days. Right? You're winning. So what client, you want to ask yourself, what client do you currently have right now that has ever paid you $50,000 for a day or 2 days of work, of service, right? And this is just an example, but it's a realistic example. These are things that I've seen happen and I know happen, right? So, well, in order to get a $500,000 from $50,000 contract values, of course, you need 10 times, right? Versus 10,000 clients or individual customers, right? They're going to pay you $500 or whatever, $5 or however that math works out, right? Just 10, right? So now we're able to have a game plan to fuel a $500,000 in taxes that we've collectively paid from the government's cupboards back into our households. Why? Because, and why this works so well is because the government is obligated to do business with you. It's your money. All you're doing is getting it back from the government, right? And once you, and trust me, once you get in the game, and let me tell you this. So a lot of times, people, like, everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to make a whole lot of money. Everybody wants to, land these $250,000, $500,000, $1 million contracts and beyond. Everybody wants to do that, right? Why? Because this is just a dream, right? Why wouldn't you not, right? But here's the thing: money doesn't solve problems. In fact, on every level of money, there are new levels of problems that you do absolutely have to think about how you're going to solve and how you're going to solve it strategically. Now, which brings me to my second point today that I want you to also write down, right? So the more money you make, just know this, the more money you make, the more money they're going to take, unless you do number 2, maximize on your tax advantages, right? So just because you're making a lot of money don't mean you have a lot of money, right? So this is the thing. Most people won't tell you this. This is the thing that you have to be prepared for. Now, when you break into that new tax bracket of making, let's just stick with the number that we're talking about today, a $500,000. Well, if you make a $500,000 in a day, I'm sorry, you could do that in a day. You can. But if you make a $500,000 in a year, now this is your first time being able to do that. And beforehand, you probably was making under 100,000, maybe $80,000 to $100,000. Well, now you've automatically jumped into a new tax bracket. So, it's definitely a thing to be grateful for, but you also want to be strategic in how you receive those dollars and what you do with it, right? From there. So this is what I mean by maximize on tax advantages. Well, in order for you not to be taxed at 60+%, we're talking about 60 to 65% for those who are not intelligent, right? So they say knowledge is power, right? But the lack of knowledge is very costly because it can cost you a lot of money to not know these things. Okay. So maximizing on tax advantages. Well, for those of you who have been following me for a while, maybe you've seen my video when I talk about the wheels of wealth and how you have to have one of those wheels be a tax advantage wheel that's going to help you continue to multiply your income and to keep some of that income into your household versus paying it out back out in taxes, which it doesn't make sense to be able to do that. I mean, for you to have to do that if you do it smart, right? So it's working smarter, not harder. So how do you do that? Well, there's a couple different tax advantage accounts and things or vehicles that you can consider do your due diligence on. Now, I'm no tax expert. I'm no tax advisor. None of those things. Always do your due diligence in these things. But this is some of the things that I'm learning. So I can only share my experience of the things that I'm learning and what I'm doing to start maximizing on tax advantages to keep some of those millions of dollars in my pocket, right? Versus having to give half back, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to learn. You got to learn somewhere, right? And giving half back is still, you're still $500,000 rich. You know what I'm saying? Richer than you were. But it's not cool when you're trying to create generational wealth, right? When you're trying to create generational wealth, it's not about the quick dollar that you lose. It's about the money that you have that you're able to sustain for generations to come, right? Somebody said, keep it in my bank. keep it with me, right? Pass it down to maturing and their churn. Right. So maximizing on tax advantage. So different types of tax advantage vehicles. Number one is universal index life policies. Those are tax advantage vehicles, right? And if you guys need referrals or references, let me know in the chat because I can send you a reference, right? A later of experts who can help you with some of these things that I'm recommending. So, universal index life policies allows you to be able to put money into tax advantage vehicles that grows exponentially, and you can pull it out tax free. Okay, there are other vehicles which includes, of course, we all know the IRA. So if you have like create a retirement account, like a 501c3, or it could be a self-employed, what is it called? A SEP IRA, or like a whatever it's called. So I use Trademark. No, it's not Trademark. Where did I get that from? Ameritrade. That's what it's called. So I use Ameritrade, and so you can put in tax free, right? To save and to deduct or to minimize on your taxable income. I think it's up to $6,000 a year now, right? So that's 6,000. You safeguard that, right? Now, one of the larger vehicles, this is the game, right, that I'm about to give y'all. One of the larger vehicles, and I just did a for those of you who probably watched my or joined our masterclass called GovCon Cashflow, right? It's about how to actually maximize, optimize, and have more money, especially when you're in the government contracting game, because it helps you have tax strategies, like real big money tax strategies in place. And so, you can still get the recording, although you missed the live. But if you go to govconcashflow.com, you can actually get the recording. It'll automatically be sent to you. But it's the real estate game, right? So here's the thing. And I didn't even know this. And I have real estate portfolios that I've been building, but I had no clue that you can use those investments as tax strategies, which will minimize your stated income, which will minimize the amount of taxes that you have to pay, because now you're putting your money into investments. And then you're also able to deduct those investments and have taxable deductions over like a 27 year period. So every year you're actually able to deduct that amount of that investment value for that year from your stated revenues or income, right? And that way it's not taxed, right? So, but at the same time, and at the same time, you're actually creating and adding assets, right? And so here's what I would say, and my tax professionals can attest to it, like you not attest to it, but like confirm this, right? But again, also I'm not no tax expert. I'm not a tax accountant, but these are some things that I'm knowing, right? Just happen to be some things that I know. So what I also want to say is that like these are tax advantage strategies. Like the tax code was not written for modern day middle class people. It was not written for the poor. The tax code was written for entrepreneurs. So in order to get in the game, first place, you got to have a business, right? So for shout out to all the entrepreneurs that are watching. So you have to have a business to get in the game, but then you have to know how to play the game. I would say a majority of small business entrepreneurs do not know how to play the game. And I didn't know how to play the game, but now I'm learning these things, how to play the game and how to play it more efficiently and effectively and all those different things. And so this is the reason why I thought it was very important to have this particular conversation today. So, the tax code is not for the poor. The tax code is not for the middle class. The tax code is for those who are creating wealth. Now, government contracting can allow you to create wealth. And this is the strategy. This is what I teach. I teach wealth. I'm a wealth creator. I show other people not how to do government contracts. Government contracts is just a vehicle that we use to create and generate wealth. But I show people actually how to create wealth and how to become a first, second, or third time millionaire or generation millionaire or whatever for your family, but also how do you keep that money? What do you do with it? And so this is why today's topic is very, very dear to me, right? So maximizing on your tax advantages. So again, the tax code is for the rich, right? This is why people like Donald Trump pays no taxes. People like Jeff Bezos and all these super rich people pays no taxes because they understand the tax advantage, the tax code, and how to actually acquire assets that's going to allow you to depreciate over time and have tax deductions that reduces the amount of taxable income that you have, right, to report, right? So for some professionals that I know who have multi-million dollar portfolios pay either zero taxes or very minimum taxes because of these particular tax strategies. So real estate, regardless of if you're a real estate professional, doesn't matter. You as an individual, you can actually purchase, you don't even have to be a realtor. You can purchase investment properties and be able to, and you want to have this a part of your tax strategy, a part of your strategy, your wealth creation strategy. You want to be able to minimize taxes, right? So real estate is the biggest asset that you can invest in. So not only are you able to keep some of that $500,000 that you're getting back from the government in tax dollars, you're able actually to bring that in. But now watch this. When I always talk about how the government is going to fund your legacy, y'all, you just better follow me. The girl might be up to something. The girl just might know a little something. I'm just saying, you definitely want to allow the government to fund your legacy, right? So, because as you're bringing in these contracting dollars, lucrative contracts, right? $100,000, you need five. $500,000, right? This is what we're talking about today. One contract, $500,000, right? In order to actually keep that $500,000 in your bank account and your family's what do you call that, trust and all those different things, well, you have to do certain things to protect your assets, and it's going to allow you to be able to acquire this money that's coming in. What we going to do with it? We're not going to go shopping. Well, I'm going to tell y'all, like for the first ones, like for this is your first time that you're going to land $250,000, $500,000, $1 million contract, you are definitely going to go shopping. For the first time. Like I'm gonna just leave you that room, right, to grow, right? You're gonna buy that car, you're gonna buy that house that you're gonna live in, all those different things. You're gonna do that. But guess what? Now, because this system works over and over and over and over and over again, and you're able to print money over and over and over and over and over again, right? You're able to land contracts on top of contract on top of contract. You're able to do this stuff. That next one, you got to promise me that you're going to make it work. You're going to make it work for you, and that you're going to put some tax advantage strategies, and then you're going to hire some experts who can consult with you on what to do next, right? So that you can continue to build out your portfolio. So not only is the government going to give you $500,000, and this is just the topic for today, it could be more, right? $500,000 of your tax dollars back to you as an entrepreneur, which means that you've gotten the game. Now you have a business. That's the only way to get in the game, is to have a business. But now that you're making this money, now you're able to make the money, make more money, right? Y'all heard me talk about this. I've been talking about this like for years. How do you make money, make money? Strategically, y'all. So, and I'm gonna get into the third step, or the third thing that I want to point out for you is, before I get there, is just like, now you're acquiring assets, right? That's an asset that you're putting into your trust, or putting a part of your portfolio, something else that you can actually pass down. And you're not going to stop at one investment. You're going to have multiple investments. So this is how the rich get richer and the poor stay poor, because the poor don't know. Because the poor would think as investing in real estate is spending that money. Well, if you don't spend the money, they will take that money. So you got to do it, right? So point number 3, strategize your portfolio. You want to be wealthy, not rich, right? Rich people go broke, right? Fast money can be lost very fast. But when you think strategically, you want to strategize. Now, this is how you begin to create wealth. Well, you want to take a step back and look at what are the tax advantage strategies. What am I going to do? Am I going to invest in real estate? Am I going to invest in commercial properties? Am I going to invest in life insurance policies, UILs? Am I going to invest in the stock market? You have to diversify your portfolios, right? These are the conversations that you should be having about what are we going to do to diversify the portfolios, minimize on taxes, keep more money in our pocket so that we're able to continue to grow the wealth, right? This is how the wealthy people think. Okay, and lastly, the last point is now this is just gonna be game for y'all, right? But I gotta go in just a moment, so I'm just gonna drop it on here. I'm dropping on y'all real quick. Monetize your life. Did you know you can do that? You probably didn't even know, right? And when I say monetize, like everything that you do, like here's the most simplest thing that I can share to explain what I mean by that. Do you not know that your marriage, like for those of you who are married, for those of you who are parents, you have children, you are running a business, right? Marriage and relationships have to be operated by a system, right? Spend time with the family, go on outings, cook, clean, go to school, help with homework. Like those are operations that you can actually put into a business. So basically, if you create an LLC for your household, for your marriage, for your family, then everything, let's just say you create an LLC under your name. Well, you are now a business. So every bill that you pay is tax deductible. All the rent and all the stuff that you pay is tax deductible because you are the business, right? So are your children, right? So if you have a business in the family's name, right? So every private school you pay for is a tax deduction. Sending your kids to school is a tax deduction, paying for that, right? Every field trip that you pay for is a tax deduction. Like you can really monetize your whole life. And you want to think about how can I monetize? Well, you can monetize your thoughts. You can monetize your thoughts by creating a book, writing a book about your experience and how you were able to overcome something, right? Monetize that, right? You can monetize your skills by creating a course or a program or something like that. You can monetize that by creating an ebook. All right. So when I think about monetization and how you can monetize your entire life, there's so many different things that you can do. You can monetize your ability to build, right? So if you're in construction, or maybe you're not in construction, but you're really good at handyman, crafting and building things, right? You can monetize just your creativity as an artist. Singers monetize their craft, right? Their ability to sing, right? So there is no limit. Just because you don't play ball or sing or rap doesn't mean that you don't have something that you can monetize. Hello, somebody, right? So whatever your skill set is, whatever you're passionate about, find a way to monetize all of those things, right? So I know some young ladies who are really good at couponing. I've never had the patience to coupon. I'll just pay, I'll pay whatever price. I don't care. I just want to be in and out of the grocery store. I can't stand grocery shopping, right? So it's really hard for me to coupon and to shop like that and to like purchase with some coupons and then getting back in line to purchase with some old coupons and get back in line. Like, I can't do that. I don't have time. Like I don't have the patience to do that. But I think it's a really amazing skill set. And you can monetize that as a gift, right? They had a whole TV show called Couponing, I think it was, back in the day, like it was a few years ago. I mean, you can monetize that as a skill set, right? If you're really good at talking, if you're really good at whatever, if you're really good at anything, find a way to monetize that so you can continue to maximize on your skill set, right? So to sum it up today, optimizing your business for government contracts. You have to have a business to do business with the government. Yes, you do. Absolutely. It has to be legitimate. You have to have all your documents. You have to be filing taxes. You have to do all these different things. You have to become the premium entrepreneur that can actually qualify to sell to the government. You have to maximize once you're making all this money. Now you have to maximize on tax advantages so that you're able to keep that money in your pocket. And you want to strategize to use that money to create more assets, that are that's going to allow you tax deductions, right? Invest in things that matter. Now, I know like right now, there's the all electric vehicles are tax deductible. Now imagine purchasing an all electric vehicle in your business name. That's a huge, tremendous tax deduction, right? There are like 600-pound vehicles that you can purchase as an entrepreneur in your business name that will allow you to deduct that amount, that investment from your revenue. So there's all different types of tax strategies out there. If you are making this kind of money, or when, prepare, right? So you want to have a checklist of, okay, maybe I'm not at a 500,000, maybe I'm not at 1,000,000 yet, but now I have a checklist of what to do, right? I want to optimize, maximize, strategize, and then I want to continue to monetize my life so I can continue to make even more millions and create even more wealth and all those different things, right? So hopefully this was good for you today. I just wanted to share with you how you can actually get $500,000 of your tax dollars back, but also how to keep it, which is going to be key, right? So we're going to help more people get actually pre-qualified to sell to the government, so they can be landing $250,000 contracts, $500,000 contracts, $1,000,000 contracts, and they can actually get in the game. You got to be making money to get in the game, right? And sometimes to get in the game, you have to be willing to part from a little bit of money so that you can actually receive a whole lot of money, right? And so, yeah, you have to make investments into yourself. Like, that's the best thing that you can do, right? And trust me, your life will change. So there's going to be a small investment to join our GovCon challenge. It's only $297 that for that game, for you to have actually a game plan and get pre-qualified, right? So we can help you with 80% of the process, right? Might as well just go ahead and jump in. GovConChallenge.com. We're going to show you exactly how to qualify for government contracts, right? So the next challenge is coming up in just a couple weeks. Get registered today. GovConChallenge.com. I'll check you next time, you guys. I love you much, and thank you so much for your faithfulness of joining me at Kiwanis TV. Is that what we gonna call it? That's what we gonna call it. No, I'm not Kiwanis TV, but I am a wealth creator, and I show entrepreneurs just like you how to continue to create wealth in your life and for your family. And I honestly do this from my heart, and I love you guys. And I know that the impact that you're going to create, this is the reason why I do it. The impact that you're going to create, it allows, like, you're required to have money to impact your communities. You're required. You cannot do anything. You cannot make a large impact when you have no money. Your life has to be impacted first in order for you to impact other people's lives. And so I want to help continue the impact globally using entrepreneurship to create new generation millionaires and multimillionaires. So that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Y'all have